Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Can you hear me? Okay. Can y'all hear me? Press 7 if y'all can hear me. Yeah, I'm in a remote location today. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Check 1 2. Can you hear me? That's right. Silver tulip. Billy, Billy messing with the UFO. What? How do I sound, Black Girls Read? Fam, let me explain to you. So yesterday, I thought that I'm waiting for my guest to come in. Yesterday, I was of the thought that I got my schedule mixed up. Yesterday, I thought that I was going to have brother Chub Rock in yesterday, but actually it was today. It was my fault. I missed the email. And so I missed the email. And so what happened was I had to I got a double duty today. Today is my son's 14th birthday. And is the stream clear, Crip? How the stream look? Is the stream clear? Is it nice and clear? I see I got a good signal. But it's Taji's birthday today. And so I was compelled to work double duty. I was going to make sure Taji wanted to him and his friends wanted to go to Six Flags. So they wanted to go to an amusement park, and so he got a few of his friends, and we are at the amusement park. You know what I mean? That's what deadbeat dads do. You know what I'm saying? Not just playing. So we're at the amusement park. I'm outside of the park, and I'm waiting for my guest to come in. I have my guest in, so let's bring him in. Let's bring him in with no further. His schedule, his schedule is tight. Brother Chubb, can you hear me?
I'm doing well, brother. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, brother. Welcome to the platform, bro. I'm looking so forward to this. And as I do know that your time is so limited because of all the things that you got going on. But brother, let me just start it right off. Who don't know who Chubb Rock is? Who in here that don't know who Chubb Rock is? If you don't know who the Chubbster is, you had to be under a rock 5 times, like 5 lifetimes ago. But whatever the case may be, brother, without introduction, you don't need no introduction. Brother, what have you been up to for those who have not been following all the things that you've been doing lately? What you been up to, brother?
Man, so hip hop has been great to me, but then I kind of transitioned into radio and broadcasting and using my voice in 2000. So that's been a blessing and been great. And so I got the Chub Rock show, and it's in
And sorry to cut your wisdom. Where are you airing the Chub Rock show from? Is that ATL?
ATL. We do it in ATL, and it goes to 20 other cities across the country. And it's been a blessing, man. It's independent. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. Um, I'm not a big believer in working for people, so we do the work ourselves, man. But it's a blessing, man. And then of course we're out on the weekends doing hip hop, man, doing classic hip hop. Um,
Somebody is asking how can they donate or book you. I'll make sure that they can get that. I'll get that from you and I'll pass that to you. Unless you want to say it live, if that's up to you. But I can make sure that they can get that.
yeah, you can give it to them.
Okay, Chubb. So, in the current state of, have you? Let me ask first. Are you familiar with this new conversation about the creation of hip hop? We're going to get into what you're going to do here in Baltimore, but are you familiar with the new conversation about who created hip hop, who founded hip hop? Are you familiar with that conversation that's going on now?
Brother, that's a conversation that's been going on 50 years.
Hey, my thing is this. I was just talking to a friend of mine named Dr. Assad, and I was telling him that you know, I don't understand how we get caught up in these conversations and then get stuck in them when the world is moving right past us. You know what I mean? That, like, all cultures is trying to get a piece of the pie, and we get stuck in these little conversations. What do you have any part to add to that conversation? Considering that I believe that you are one of the ones that was able to make popular consciousness in a groovy type sense, bro. You was running them around like a big Buick, you know what I mean, and leave the guns in the crack alone. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's interesting, man, when you have that conversation. Um, it's history, man, and so people crave history.
Right,
Right? We all crave history because there's been all kinds of people that didn't know certain historical facts. It's funny. I was talking on the radio show today. I got a chance to watch the first season of the Bass Reeves series, right? Bass Reeves of the first African American um, deputy marshal, right?
right,
In which that's how they basically stole the whole legend of the Lone Ranger was really a black man, right?
facts.
So you have this need for history. I mean, Hidden Colors came and talked about Bass Reeves 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Um, but in school, unless you had some very forward-thinking teachers, never told students in them classrooms, "Oh, you're talking about the Lone Ranger and Tonto." That all of that is fiction. That was a black man back in that time, right?
Right,
You crave this, you crave history and this knowledge, and hip hop is no different. It's a global phenomenon, and people are craving to know how it started, who were the practitioners of this incredible genre. Um, so it makes sense that people are going, and then of course it makes sense that people are going to debate these things
right,
and debate, whatever, especially if they weren't there.
right,
They're going to have these debates about this because you can throw in all kinds people into that mix that no one talks about. People talk about Russ all the time and say, "Hey, man, he is the godfather of hip hop." Right? He's godfather of hip hop. I mean, he was involved with Curtis Blow and all of these records, the Mercedes ladies and everything, but they never really mentioned Sylvia Robinson.
right,
Was
right.
a queen that was involved with, let's be serious, the most successful rap record of from
Well, that's
the
Sugar
beginning,
Hill, right?
Sugar Hill.
Yeah,
But they never speak about her. They never have a Grammy named after her.
right.
Right? Every time you see the BET Hip Hop Awards, they never mention this little woman, right? This little beautiful woman. So there is a lot of disconnect when it comes to history, man. So I think the more they talk about it and debate it, you'll see little jewels dropped from it all the time.
Bro, I think even when you mention that, I think that underscores that you have been a participant on the writer's side that people are unaware of. On the writer's side, if I'm not mistaken, you had something to do with the Roxanne and the UTFO phenomenon or something like that. Where you had some type of connection, friendship, or something about that.
Yeah. So UTFO, I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn,
Right,
right? This little Caribbean neighborhood in Brooklyn, and UTFO was our group, our Flatbush group that made it first.
right, right,
They're the ones that made it first. And my cousin Hitman Howie T was involved. He helped produce that record, with
right,
Kango Kid. Rest in peace, my boy Kango Kid in full force. My cousin Hitman Howie T was part of that record. And then him and Kango um, came together and did a group called Whistle. We're only bugging, if you guys remember that
yeah,
record. And then of course Doc Ice, who's like a big brother to me, and Howie and Kango. Then they were like, "Yo, you need to be next." That's why if you listen to the Chubbster, it says the Chubbster, a man who came out about 1986 with the help of Dr. Ice in the mix,
Yeah,
right?
yes,
So,
yes.
so those were my mentors that said, "Oh, okay, it's your turn," you know. But UTFO was the guys from our neighborhood that made it first, and obviously that record was in the Guinness Book of.
Oh, he kind of went out. Well, we also got hopefully it maybe his battery didn't drop off a little bit. We also got Sister Malica. Sister Malica, how you doing, sis? Ho, you're muted. You're muted. Let me unmute you. You gotta unmute
Sorry
yourself,
about that.
sis. Go
I
ahead,
don't
brother.
know. Somebody called in or something. I don't know. Hold on. I don't hear you guys yet. Let me
Can you
just
hear
make
me?
sure my mic is on.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I don't hear you talking. Hold on.
Brother Taharka.
Yes, can you hear me?
I
Yes,
don't know
can you
why
hear
it just
me?
the volume went off.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so you can hear me, but I can't hear you for some reason. I don't
See
know.
if
Do I
you
need to log out and come back in?
yeah, try to come out and come back in.
Okay.
How about me? Can you hear me?
Let me
Can I
log out and come back
the
in.
same?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sister Maleka, how you doing, sis?
I am well, thank you.
Listen,
Fine.
so today is my son's birthday. I would have been in the studio, but I thought it was yesterday, but I confused things. But today, I'm at the amusement park with my son, but we're gonna make this happen. But sis, can
Absolutely.
you please introduce yourself? Tell the people who you are here on Morse World TV. Who are you, sis?
Well, I am Malika
It's so
Tamu
much. We
Cooper.
only got about 30, 40 minutes, but
It's okay.
it's so
It's
much you
okay.
can
It's
say.
okay.
But come on, give it to us. What you got?
All right. So I am Malika Tamu Cooper. I'm the owner and operator of Dreads and Heads Natural Hair Care Center. I'm also the founder of the Baltimore Natural Hair Care Expo, the founder of Happy Nappy Days, the founder of Poets in the Park, the founder of the Exodus Tour, the 14-stop tour that goes across the country and internationally teaching people on natural hair care, holistic beauty, and wearable art. I am a master lactician, natural hair care specialist. You name it, I got a whole bunch of things under my belt. But most of all, I am just me, Malika Tamu Cooper.
And you're not a grifter.
Yeah.
most people
Yeah.
with all that type of titles, they be grifting. They be
Yeah.
trying to take advantage of people. But I can attest that you give one of the most extraordinary events here in Baltimore. Last year, we were there. Brand Nubian,
Right.
Lord Jamar, who is a hot topic right now. Lord
Mm-hmm.
Jamar set the stage on fire, and for a long time, I was wondering where my guy, where the rest of the crew was. And
Mm-hmm.
you get to find these brothers
Grand
and
Poobah,
sisters.
all of them came
Grand
together.
Pooba. That's what I meant to say. Grand Pooba, Sadat X or Derek X. You get to
Yeah.
find these brothers and bring them on
Mm-hmm.
in. And
Mm-hmm.
since
Free
now
of
you
charge.
let me say that, and now you are bringing in Chubb Rock, and I'm saying to
Yeah.
myself, how in the world do you make these connections, sister? You got to be a hip hop head.
What? You have no clue. You don't. You have no clue. My era was late '80s, all the '90s, hip hop. What my mother was like, if y'all don't stop bouncing around in my damn house, that's because I played everything from Kwame to my boy Chub Rock. I played every single hip hop song you could think of. Brand Nubian, Curtis Blow. Take it back to the beginning with the Sugar Hill Gang. I played everything from. I was going to bring Houdini, but you know, last year we lost a brother, Jalil. I was going
Right.
to. I mean,
So,
I'm all about my shows being that nostalgic, clean debut of hip hop, where before we was calling each other names and stuff like that. You know, before it got a little bit out of hand. I'm back to that clean, classic hip hop, and I'm bringing the Chubbster 1993 back on the scene. Who is that? Chub
1990 Chubb Rock
Rock!
jumps up on the scene with
Scene with the beans with a pocket full of green. Yes.
it.
Oh, you have no clue. And that's why our shows are so very successful, because You know, this is our era. This is what everything that they're doing now. They're just repeating or sampling everything that we did in the '80s and the '90s.
Absolutely.
And so,
Absolutely.
Happy Nappy Day is happening this Sunday, July the 14th, Gwynn Park. I've taken over the entire park,
Yeah,
and
we
we're
got
going to
we
have.
got we got brother that Cryptonomics quoting the lyrics in the chat. But yeah, that's what we missed that. We
Yes,
missed that.
yes. We're not so old that we can't go back and reminisce and just because we got a little bit of gray, because Chubb got a little bit of gray going on in that beard. It's not.
And
We
that's what I
can't go
want to
back
say.
and
Sis,
reminisce.
I don't mean to cut your wisdom, cause and I got you, I can keep you here, but Chubb might can't stay too long. Hey Chubb, can you still run him around like a big Buick? The highlight of that video, brother, is when you did that one move and hit on brother, the whole joint. You did that one move and spun around like the big Buick. Can you still do? I can't wait to listen. This is my personality, Chubb. You gotta work with me. I can't wait till Sunday to see if you gonna run him around like the big Buick, brother. Can you still do it?
So what happens? What happens, man? You know, when we go and do the show, and people are expecting songs and everything, and that's great. And we incorporate that, but we have what I call the best, one of the best classic hip hop parties.
Yes.
And, and that's the way I approach it. I know, um, in the past, the show was also based on poetry and things of that nature. But it's really an old school party, man. So for people that are in B-more, which is like a second home, definitely to me. My aunt lived in B-more, and I used to spend the summers there since 83, because she worked at John Hopkins, and I used to come there in the summertime, man, for a long time. Baltimore is old school,
Yes, sir.
and so we're gonna have a good time, man. You come out there, get ready to party. The weather's gonna be great, and just be ready to sweat that cream of nature out, and whatever you're gonna wear that reminds you of them days whenever you did whatever, and bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair, and all that other nonsense.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But we're gonna have a good time, man. I mean, this sister is just an incredible sister. And she's from my time, man. She means what she says, and she
Mhm.
does. And these days you don't see a lot of that. You don't experience a lot of that. And
Absolutely.
it's just it's a breath of fresh air, man, to be involved in stuff like that, where we could just have a good time. I want people to, after we do what we do, and people take pictures, and you start meeting people there that's going to say, I'm already prepared for it. I'm going to meet people there that's going to be like, Chubb, I remember when you came to Baltimore with DJ Reggie Reg in the 80s,
Come on, Chubb.
and all of this other kind of stuff. I'm be like, yo, there ain't nothing changed but this.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're gonna just have a good time, man, and because it was crazy on the show tip. He was the first one to bring me to Baltimore.
Yeah,
My boy
shout out to DJ Reggie Reg,
DJ,
man. Legend.
um, and we're just gonna have a good time, man. I mean, it's what life should be about, man. Representing
Yeah.
hip hop. We go all the way back to this.
Yes,
Whoa.
sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes,
so
sir.
for those that don't remember what that is, or
That's
this,
the number. That was the first one you threw out, right?
that was the first one we threw up, and then
Absolutely.
of course this. For those that remember those things,
Oh,
and
that's the radio.
yeah, that's the the,
Got
the,
the boombox.
the
Yeah,
10
that's
joint,
my radio, but that's the boom. Absolutely.
the 10D battery joint for those that
Yeah.
remember
Yes.
days. You know, so it was a golden time. It was a golden era. So even from your first question about the conversations that are going on now about hip hop and who invented it and when did it start and who started it and all those different conversations, it's a serious conversation, man, because it means so much to so many people. And so, people are going to be, they're going to be emotional about it.
Yeah, that's the part that is really vibrating throughout the internet now, the emotional side as opposed to the scholarship side. You know what I mean? I'm hoping we get closer to the scholarship side or the historicity of it more so than the emotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but sometimes, we live in a social media time where people sometimes veer off from facts, right? They veer off from facts and try to just piece things together that make sense, right? And I get it, I get it, but there are certain facts to this thing. Like for me, when you start dealing with hip hop, you can't talk about hip hop and the birth of it, and maybe the practitioners of it, unless you start throwing in names. Did we lose them?
No, you
I
good.
don't know.
Okay, I just see your
Okay,
face.
I know I'm
Now
good.
I'm adjusting my camera. You good.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, I don't know if you can start talking about hip hop sometime and you don't mention people like Nile Rodgers.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because a lot of them early grooves that that you were rhyming to,
Mhm.
as far as like good times and all of that kind of stuff, bass lines that ended up doing Sugar Hill Gang and that's Nile Rodgers.
Brothers Johnson too. Mhm.
Yeah, so you got to start when you got to start interjecting these musicians. You got to interject James Brown in that conversation.
Right.
You got to start interjecting them kinds of people in there. And so because everybody wants to not leave out a pivotal part of this phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna Cool Herc and Coke La Rock and um Shah Rock and all of those incredible souls, man. But Grandmaster Caz and all of that, man. You can't leave out these people. But there's all kinds of people involved in those kinds of conversations that people never mention.
Absolutely.
They never mention these people.
Absolutely. Um, so brother, when you left the scene, it appeared many people said that you went back to school. I know that you was at one point at Brown's University before the hip hop thing. Did you ultimately go back or something like that? That was one of the rumors. And I think I always asked myself, they was like, Chub Rock went back to school and got his doctorate.
No, 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 no. I didn't go back. It's funny. Me and a good friend of mine was talking about that recently, man. I was thinking about going back now because now you got the headspace to go back. Back then, we never technically slowed down, man. We just never slowed down. It went from the big records to radio, using my voice in some other various ways that became a blessing that did well for me. And it was really just recently was like, I wonder if I should just go back, finish this thing off in school, and I could just tell my children, oh yeah, I finished it, and there go right there. You could hang it up in your house.
Because to my understanding, brother, that you were at the top of your academia to even get into Browns. Like you were the top notch.
Nah, brother, let me tell you.
That's what
So
I read.
I went to a school growing up where we were part of a class that was probably one of the most forward-thinking classes ever.
Right.
And our teacher, I'll never forget, Mr. Epstein, he pushed us in a way that was very different for a bunch of African American kids in that class. And the people that were part of that class, it was called an IGC class. They were just all brilliant people, man. So I was surrounded by great minds. I mean, most of them were friends to this day, like to this day. And I credit that to Mr. Epstein and all of those souls that were in that class. And so we did good in school. There was a consistency going on, because that's all school is a consistency of behavior, right?
Right.
I don't subscribe to you're smarter than you're more brilliant than you. No, it's still the same thing. It's all about consistency, and if you were guided by the right person.
But in order to get, what I'm saying is, in order to get into the scholarship, I think you got into like a scholarship, you had to be an achiever.
I mean, we
Is
did
what I'm speaking to.
yeah, we did well, but I didn't look at it as it was something different than anybody else. I mean, everybody that was part of that class had it.
Right. Okay, I got you.
You know, everybody that was part of it had it. And it was great, man. I mean, you know, at the time when you're young and again, man, it's the access of teaching, teachers, and the right people around you. You know, every student can be a good student. Every student.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know,
You're gracious, brother. You are gracious, and I definitely agree with that. With the right set of circumstances, you are absolutely right.
yeah,
The conditions are right. People will perform right. Absolutely.
yeah. With you know, and certain people, and you know, now we have some challenges. Now we had COVID, and young people have these distractions and social media and bullying and you know a host of other things that we got to find solutions to. That's why I'm just really a big fan of teachers and educators, and because they're on the front lines every day with this. You know, they're on the front lines, feeding kids, washing clothes.
Absolutely.
We have homelessness involved with some of this stuff. It's a lot, man. It's just a lot. So that's why it's difficult. I know people usually come and say, "Oh man, the kids now are different than when you were younger or when people were younger," and I don't really subscribe to that, man. The conditions are different.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because who do you blame, the student or the teacher?
I always say the teacher.
The-
I always say the teacher, but that's my perception. I believe that
I'm in the
everyone can be taught, but the teacher
right,
has to be able to perform.
and that's why we need to be able to support teachers and with supplies and certain things that they need. You know, here's the difference between black kids and white kids, man. White kids go to school to learn, and black kids unfortunately go to school to get tested.
I like that.
And,
Yes.
and you know, at some point we got to get out of that kind of thing, right? We got to get back to what school was supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun and camaraderie, and you're learning music in school, and you're learning, you know, various things, and your teachers believe in you, and guidance counselors believe in you, and they're not going to sit there and say, "Oh man, you failed that test." They're going to say, "No, I failed the test.
Right.
You didn't pass the test." You feel
Chubb,
me?
you got to make time, man, to come here and do some of this social commentary. This is what Morse World TV is about, man. We're about entertainment. We're about the elevation of the entertainment. We're about the social climate of what's going on. We're about exposing the misinformation so we can put the useful information to the front and all of that, brother. And you just said, everybody, I see the chat right now. They say Chub Rock is bringing it because this is what this platform is dedicated to be a modern revealer of the light, revealer of what's right. You understand what I'm saying? And you just hit on some good points, man, that we don't hear a lot of. Your message and that message, which is a universal message, we don't hear a lot on these airwaves. We just don't.
I mean, we're in a
Well, it's
state now.
not the popular message. Let me say that.
Right, right. It's not the popular message. I mean, because right now, everything it ain't like KRS when KRS talked about edutainment, right? He's talking about
Right, right,
edu,
right.
and now it's full blown entertainment,
Yes,
and but we got a lot of things going on, man. I mean, we had 2 years of COVID, kids ain't go to school. They said, oh man, they did virtual learning, virtual attendance was like 2%. So it's like, so when what happened to 2 years of if you was in third grade and now you're supposed to be in fifth grade, and then they just moved you on to fifth grade because they didn't want to show the government, oh, we went backwards. And it's like, wait a second, but there's a big leap between third and fifth grade, and or seventh grade and ninth grade. You can get lost in that algebra during that time,
absolutely.
and and these are the things that's not usually popular, man. That's why again, teachers is so important, man. That this the whole thought process of teachers, man, and and African American principals and all of this kind of jazz that understands certain things. And even though we're here mainly today to talk about the show in Baltimore, July 14th, and the fact that we're gonna have a good time doing hip hop, but maybe next time we could talk more about this. Uh,
Absolutely. I would definitely appreciate that. And I'm sure, as we call the Morse World TV citizens, they would definitely appreciate that too, because we need more of this. And I mean, I'm a pretty loud mouth on the internet. So this would be a great platform to really get this message out that, listen, no, we need to support these teachers. We need to support those who are really fighting to resist the temptation. I have my son turning 14 years old today. He's been accepted in Poly, one of the top technical high schools here in Baltimore. They don't accept anybody. You have to achieve. And the teachers that you speak of that helped you unfold is the type of teachers that are there. And it would be nice if every school was a Poly. You know what I mean? Every school was a Poly. But nevertheless, that message is definitely needs some wings. And I would love for you to come back so we can give it some wings.
yeah, and not just that, man. We have no problem going to schools themselves. Just going to the schools and hanging out with kids and talking about some of this stuff, because a lot of times what goes on with these young people is that they kind of just feel ignored. Like, hey, man, let them talk. Forget about us talking. We're
Right.
out of school and we're grown and we got gray hair now and all this other guys. They're the ones that got to talk and say, this is how I feel, and this is what I'm not getting, and this is what I hope to get, and this is what they believe. And then you can say, man, what you want to what you want to aspire to be is fiction.
Right.
Because entertainment tells people, hey, man, you can get all this money and drive these cars. Your life's gonna be beautiful, and then you find out you could have the money and the cars and jewelry and all of it, miserable. What I'm saying. So next time we could talk about some other things. I mean, with Sister Malika, anybody else, man,
I
invite
got a
me to
I
some of
got a
the.
few more questions because I know you on limited time because you got to hit the air. But I wanted to ask you about, man, the Hitman, man. The Hitman, your cousin, man, he he was at the top of his game. And when I say at the top of his game, his production was crazy. I mean, crazy. And then, you begin to hear about the track masters would come along, and then you would hear about uh, um, some of the older producers. Marley Marl will begin to fade out, and then the Hitman was right in the crux in the middle of that, and then what my understanding is that he took another path. Has he produced anything since the '90s that anybody could check for? Because his production was crazy. And who we talking about? We're talking about Howie T.
Yeah. So Howie started his thing like almost everybody else in high school. He went to again another pretty forward thinking technical high school called Westinghouse. It happened to be the same school DMX went to, Busta Rhymes went to. And once we started getting production, I mean, the names, UTFO, his group, CD, Whistle, myself, Special Ed, Little Sean, EFT, the list goes, Roxanne, the real rock, the list goes on, but Color Me Bad, Heavy D, Naughty by Nature. There's a bunch of Crash Crew. There's a bunch of names, and I know I'm forgetting a bunch of them. But then he didn't like the way lyrics changed in hip hop, and he got kind of more into God and consciousness and stuff like that, and he kind of just said, "Man, this is not what I want to do anymore." He just wasn't a fan of the lyrics, um, and he took a stand on it. He was like,
Understandable.
I remember,
It went left.
yeah,
Understandable.
he was more like, cuz I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna do music. So he started doing more like beats for TV shows, and stuff like that. That have no words. It was just more music and beats. Because he just didn't believe in the content of it, and he left it alone. And that goes on to a lot of the legends, man. Once they seen things kind of move into a certain space, I think they kind of said, "Hey, man, this is not what I know. This is not what I am a part of." And they said, "Nah, I think I'm gonna do something different." All of those original, incredible producers. The great Marley Marl and Easy Mo B and Said G and Large Pro and Pete Rock, and then of course it feels great to see Pete Rock coming back out with like Common and Large Pro. I seen him the other day, and
Yeah, I peeped that. I peeped the large professor. I was like, It's, man, listen, I'm looking so forward to this resurgence of quality production and not everything sounding the same. I think I had a conversation with my son the other day, and I was telling him, I was like, back in the day, it was a healthy competition to be the best. So all the producers back in the day, they sound slightly different, but their craft was so honed that you were like, this is my best, that's my best. But they were all the best. Even when it came to lyricism, the rapper wanted to make his lyrics to sound in comparison to the other person different, but equally as
yeah, I know exactly what he's trying to say. Um, when it comes to the differences, the differences of production, lyrics. Everybody might have a bad signal, but the lyrics, the production, um, you know, I think about producers like Eric Sermon, who happens in one of my
Check 1 2. Can you hear me now? Check check check. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, brother. I know that being out in the world, these technology things turn strange.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah,
All right, can y'all hear me now? Okay, okay. Man, hey, Chubb, can we, brother, I want you to make some time, brother. I think this can be a good conversation. You got to make some time for this social commentary conversation, brother, please.
definitely, man. Let me know, brother, and we'll finish. I know we were here to talk more about the Happy Nappy Fest.
But let me say this, Chubb. Sister Malica, she know that I like to get into the heart of our people. And you are one who, with your hip hop, you have always sprinkled it with some good common sense, some good inspiration to get educated, to what you say, the crack gets whack and the rug. Ignore temptation, sit by the. I mean, you always put something into your lyrics that we need today. If there's no really other way to say, I'm trying to look for a better way to say it. But what you said yesterday is what the same thing we need today, bro.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
same thing.
Know. Let me know.
He went out again. But anyway, family, we're gonna reschedule this for Chubb, man, because I think we're gonna have a nice conversation. Anybody familiar? Anybody familiar with Chub Rock? Then you already know. You already know that his lyrics was laced with inspiration for our people. And it was trying to motivate us away from what the world has come to.
Yeah,
His lyrics
sometimes I don't know
always was
what goes on. People call. I don't even know if you can hear me actually,
That's what it
because
said.
I
And
can't hear
ignore
you.
temptation
But
sent by the nation.
let's
Radical gain
definitely
causes pain.
get, now that we have to connect with each other. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Oh yeah, I can't hear you. Technology, man.
That's okay.
But
We
next
can.
time, let's just set it up, man, and we can have a better conversation. I got a couple of friends that would love to be on this next time too, man.
I'm gonna text you
A couple of
tonight.
good guys that I know, man. One of my boys, Charles Bay. Yeah, text me.
I'm gonna text you tonight.
Yeah, hit me.
All right.
And I'll see you. I'll see you anyway in a couple of days.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, salute.
Peace.
Peace. So, family, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Check 1 2. Can y'all hear me? Sorry for the technical difficulty. It was technical difficulties on both sides. Can you hear me, T. Moodiel? Huh? All right, all right. So listen, family, I'm gonna walk up in here. Y'all gonna walk with me. So listen, y'all gonna walk with me. Ah. So listen, family. This is what. So listen. I wanna say thank y'all for joining me, family, because at the end of the day, we need more messages from brothers like Chub Rock. You know what I mean? His message has always been one to try to move us forward and away from the nonsense. You know what I mean? So family, you see how much I'm in love with the craft, uh, in love with my children. I'm here with my son and his friends, and so I should have got with y'all and see if y'all wanted to sponsor a young brother to come to the amusement park and get some of this knowledge that you know I'm going to be talking in their ear. So him and a few of his friends are here. I'm about to walk up in here right now, and I really appreciate y'all. That's right. So y'all need anybody, who want to sponsor a trip for children. Press 7 if y'all would sponsor a child. Who would sponsor a child that I can get a bus and take them out to places that they haven't seen. Not necessarily the amusement park, but I can take them out to places. Man, I'm tired of trying to fix grown people. You know what I mean? All the fixed grown people need to get with me so we can help make sure these children won't have to be fixed later. You heard me? Yeah. Y'all got anybody supporting that? All right, now, and if I put the price thing together, see if y'all gonna support that. Seriously, man, them children need to get out that city. They need to get out that city, man. They need to get out the city. They need to come and see things that they ain't seen before. You know, some children never get a chance to just let go to an amusement park and just let go. Some children don't get a chance to do that. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just need to vent. They just need to vent and let go. Family, I'm gonna tell you, family. Sister T Moody L, she's a part of the temple, and she can tell you, man, I be juggling hard. I be juggling hard. Let me find out. I be juggling hard. You can't bring your camera in? Huh? He said, I can't bring it out. The tripod? But they can't bring it up. Let me put this tripod back. Anyway, so look. Yeah, man, sometimes the children just need to get out they just need to get out the inner city. Sometimes they just need to vent. Sometimes they don't need to be preached to. Sometimes they don't need to be talked to. Sometimes they just need to be listened to and get a chance to get outside of the murky city sometimes. You know what I mean? Nakfa, brother, I'm getting you on the show soon. I'm getting you on the show soon, brother. What's tonight? What I got going on tonight? It might be tonight. It might be tonight. Nakfa, are you available tonight? I don't think I got nothing going on tonight. I can open the mic up tonight. You available? Look, sometimes the children just need to go and get on something like that. You hear what I say? Sometimes they need to just go on and get on something like that, man. You know what I mean? Start talking about. Sometimes children don't just need about God. Sometimes they need to see God. You know what I mean? With having fun, being able to breathe, not ducking a bullet, not worrying about parents arguing. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put a price slip together and see what it take. Get a couple parents, take about 15, 20 inner city youth outside the city, take them horse riding or something. You know what I mean? That's right. That's right. You know what I mean? I was about to say, Sister T. Moodiel, she a part of the temple. She could tell you, I be juggling all type of temple meetings. I can't make some meetings because of work, because of what I got to do on a personal front, on a professional front. Then I still make my meetings on Friday and Sunday during the week. I be juggling this. It be tough. Yeah, it be tough. Yeah. Yeah, he was. He's Jamaican by descent nature, by descent. But yeah, it'd be tough, family. But I mean, I think we need to dedicate more time to these children than we do to, I think adults need our time too, but I think we need to dedicate more time to the children, man. I'm looking at the children that I was able to bring with my son, the few I could bring with my son. This thing is expensive, you know what I mean? This thing is expensive, you know what I mean? But the few that I was able to bring, I thank people, you know what I mean, who make donations, who make contributions, you know what I mean? Anybody, I don't care who you are, you know what I mean? If I have some spare change, we had a Morris World TV citizen who have sent me a financial donation for her husband's birthday. And she says that she feel as though he would have appreciated the content, and so that's why she sent it. And I don't want to give no names, but her husband has transitioned some years ago, but she's a Morse World TV citizen, and I'm able to take that which I received in the PO box yesterday, and I'm able to use that to make a contribution to give a little bit of hope to an inner city child that is friends with my son who might not would have had somebody like me around to be putting something in his ear that could take him on a nice balanced journey in life. You know what I mean? You never know who you affect in life. You never know. And so, you know, I catch a lot of flack on the internet. I catch a whole bunch of this, that, and the third, but I'm a real person, family. You ain't gonna never see me hiding behind some fake little group of people. You're never gonna see me hiding around some little fake ideal. You're always gonna see me standing on what I talk about. Even if you don't agree with what I'm talking about, I'ma still stand on what I'm talking about. If I say we got to get it from the mud, I'm saying we got to get it from the mud. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that I want my reparations, but hey, let me tell you something. It seemed like a sham to me. And while we're waiting on reparations, what are we doing? But waiting on reparations. So my point that I'm saying is that we need to get out of the mindset that somebody is going to give us something, even if they owe us something. I remember my mother told me a long time ago, don't let nobody borrow nothing if you can't afford to lose it. I think that was my mother said that. Don't let nobody borrow nothing if you can't afford to lose it. So they got our free labor. They got our free labor. We might have to chalk that up. How you feel about that? Are you able to chalk it up if it came to that? I'm not saying to chalk it up. But in the meantime, in between time, we ain't building nothing for ourselves. We got to build something for ourselves because these children are watching us. They watching us. They see us, whether we sitting up there saying, give us something, or whether we are building something. They see us. You see what I'm saying? My son Taji turns 14 years old today. And he's seen me go from a member to a grand sheik to doing the best I can to build the model of the Moorish Science Temple of America that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave to us, left to us. That is nothing like what you see on the internet. However, I can't do it by myself. It's going to take everybody else to understand that we got to build this model. you know what I'm saying, who are interested in the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the moral science tip of America. And that's the same thing with whatever you subscribe to. Whatever is the pure, pristine concept of which of you subscribe to, it's going to take you to show the world what it looked like. And it's going to take those who think like you to show the world what it looked like. And then on a broader scale, we all can connect together and we can form like Voltron and solve many of these problems that we face with. This little time, this hour, hours that, what, since 10 o'clock this morning until about 7 o'clock this evening, I'm going to be with these young guys, you know what I mean? These few young guys that I could afford to take here. Who knows how I will inspire them? Who knows? I'm not gonna smell like no weed in front of them. I'm not gonna be talking about no blunts in front of them. I'm not gonna be talking about I can't wait till I get home to get a cold beer. I ain't gonna be talking none of that. I ain't gonna be talking, neither am I gonna be talking like, oh, you should become a Muslim. Oh, should become a Muslim. I ain't gonna be saying none of that. I'm gonna be saying like, bro, what's your next step after school? Hold up, let me get on this ride with you. I'm kind of shook just like you about the Superman ride. That's what I'm gonna be talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I mean, we need to be there as opposed to being there. We think being there is always trying to impose on somebody, even children. We think being there, you know what I'm saying? We think being there is we gotta impose everything that we believe on children. Nah, sometimes you just gotta be there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I strive to do. I strive to be there, man, and be available, be accessible. You know what I mean? You gotta be accessible to children, man. See, but I wish I would force my son talking about we going to Six Flags, we going to the amusement park. Put your fez on. Show your national principles. Yeah. Yep, you good. Put your fez on. Show your national presence. He's sitting up there on the roller coaster, tassel flying all over the place, looking crazy. Man, come on, man. We doing too much. We doing too much. But you got people that's like that. See, I ain't like that. I'm like, we Moorish American. We have an American experience. And in my American experience, we made the snapback look fly. We made the t-shirt look fly. And in my Moorish descent, we made the fez look fly. We made it. It don't make us. With that being said, family, I'm going to try to be live tonight. If I don't get too exhausted today, you feel what I'm saying? I'm going to try to do it tonight. If y'all going to be available tonight, I'm going to tell you right now, leave something in the comments section for a suggestion of shows. Who do you want to see on the show? I'm taking the show to a whole nother level. I got access to a bunch of positive people, stars that was stars in our era that was giving messages. I got these connections that I've connected over the years. I've never utilized them, but I think it is time for us to utilize them and bring them on the show. I never call on anybody. But I think it's time. I think the time calls for that. I call on those that I know to help share some of their wisdom and that have the experience of traveling around, of performing, and even being in and out the circles that you can differentiate what's real and what's fake. And so I'm going to do my best to bring some of those personalities on. But with that being said, family, peace and love. I'm going to get in here for the next few hours with these young gentlemen, and we're going to have a good time. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, family. Got to thumbs up the video. You got to share the video if you appreciate this type of content. And if you are in Baltimore, the Nappy Happy Day in the Park will be on Sunday in Gwynn. I will be putting the flyer up today. You know what I'm saying? I'll be putting the flyer up today. Chub Rock is going to be there. I will be interviewing him live from there. We'll have a more extensive conversation. You'll see him perform. I'm right there at the forefront. You know what I mean? Sister Malica, who is the promoter that is bringing him, that have brought many, many good brothers here last year. It rained out, but she had poor righteous teachers. Man, so much going to be happening. We're working on connecting with a few more people to do a few more events, and I'm going to bring it to y'all. You know, exposing these frauds are very good, but if we don't give the positive side the same attention that we give the frauds, then the frauds win again. So we expose the frauds, and then we replace them with the legitimate, with the real. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what we're working on here on Morse World TV. We're going to still expose the frauds. You know what I mean? We're going to still expose the frauds, but we're going to also replace it with the legitimate. With that being said, family, I'm going to see y'all next go around tonight at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Morse World TV is going down. We got to get Wesley Snipes. I think I can get Wesley too. Let me see, Wesley. There's a possibility. I know someone that know Wesley. I might can get him. With that being said, peace and love, family. I'm getting here. Anybody that want to make a contribution, please, Sister T Moody L, throw the cash app in there. Anybody want to support, you know what I mean? The food is high up in here. These children got to eat. Help out. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, with that being said, who else in here? Sean Morgan, I appreciate you. Friday L, appreciate you. Lee Major, appreciate you. Nakfa, appreciate you. iPhone overheated. Jason Black in person. Hey, yeah, if anybody that want to support one of these children today, um, hit the cash app. I appreciate it. I'm up out of here, though. Starlight, appreciate you. Joe Biden, ask him about reparations. Joe Biden ain't giving nobody nothing. But anyway, fam, I got to get back to these boys real quick. Peace and love.